Uh, okay, I need to introduce myself. My name is Fernando Zacarias, and I'm the Executive Director and Principal Mentor of Multipod Mentoring. I'm a physician from Mexico with training in infectious diseases, internal medicine, and public health. And I have worked internationally for more than 30 years and more than 55 years working all the time and enjoying my profession. What we are going to do today is first to tell you what are the objectives are today, is to share information and basically and mostly with people who are new to the program. We are fortunate in that we have continuing mentors and mentees who can also give you their own impression, their own perspective, and their own ideas, and perhaps answer some of your questions and clarify some of the doubts that you may have about Multipod. We expect that at the end of the meeting, we all will have a clearer understanding of the program and that we would have started the process of networking or net weaving among ourselves. The agenda is very easy, welcome and introduction, and then I would like to present what you are, what our class of 2024 is composed of, not individually, but as a group. And then I will point out some of the highlights, some of the main points of the mentorship, and then we will open for a forum, questions, answers, comments, and responses. That will be the larger part, the bigger part of the meeting. Whenever you are going to make a comment or a question, please, I would like to ask you to state your name, the country where you were born, and where you live, and most importantly, how you identify yourself. I am a biologist, or I'm a student, or I'm a physician, etc. We don't need to say many things, but it's important that we know who we are. And I will commend everybody who asks questions, because public speaking is the most difficult thing to do, and it's what people are most fearful about, to talk in front of many people. In this case, we're in a family. We're 10 people or 11 people. Remind you that the program is for you, and the objectives are to help you, the young people, in professional development, your personal growth, and about some of the technical aspects of the work that you are going to be doing. And we are focusing on global health, human development, and environmental protection. And that means everything, everything. So that's why you are here for many different disciplines and professions and countries. But in the medium and long term, you are already part of a workforce. You can work in a community, via the university, or in your country, or you may work internationally, but you are going to be part of a workforce that is going to be working in those three areas. And the idea will be later on, if the net weaving and the networking works for all of us, to build a core group, a collective intelligence work group that reflects who we are: multi-country, multidisciplinary, and intergenerational group of people who will work on health and welfare across the world. So far, we have reached 122 countries. And that doesn't mean that we have lots of people in every country. In some countries, we have 30 people, for example, in Nigeria. In other countries, we may have 1 or 2 mentors and mentees, in others 8, 12. But the important part is these are countries where our mentees and mentors were born or are living because they study or work in those countries. And this is important because we want to have contacts all over the world. If I need to ask, or we need to ask or refer somebody to somebody in Bangladesh, we will know that there's somebody there we can refer or knows the country and can help with institutions or whatever is necessary. The source of candidates doesn't change because we do not advertise except occasionally and only LinkedIn. We don't use social media. And the reason for that is because we're a small program and we didn't want to grow too much. Usually the classes are between 50 and 60 mentees. And one year we had more than 80 and it was very difficult. So we have now reduced it to between 30 and 40. And of all the applications that we receive, we accept about 75% of people. In addition, between 5 and 15% of our mentees are continuing mentees or mentees who decide to officially return to the program. Many other mentees continue their relationship with their mentors for occasional advice or just for friendship. And you see that 12 and 6 are basically people who in some way have been referred or already know about the program. And through advertisement, it's only 13, but we have word of mouth in other institutions. For example, from the School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine in London, we have had about 35 people from all over the world studying or alumni of the school. We have also continued having about 70% female and 30% male mentees. And this reflects the situation in health, in the health area, medicine, and international and global health. This is what is happening. The world is going to be more and more in the hands and brains of women, which I think is going to be a very positive change and in advance on world health. And as far as mentors, we try to keep a balance between male and female mentors. And some years we have slightly more females than males, but usually there are more men who want to be mentors. As far as young professionals and students, about half and half, and 7% are both. 2 of you are both people who are young professionals and are also studying. And the regions, we always have a predominance of people from the sub-Saharan African countries, Nigeria, Uganda. There are some of the countries we have more people, but we also have from East Africa and the South African countries. And we have had some difficulty in recruiting people from my own region, which is Latin America. But this year we have 8, thanks to Calaya and her friends from Puebla, Mexico, that attend the university there. And we would like to start a program with them if possible. And the other thing that is important, well, you can see continuing about 17 and new mentees about 29. Today and yesterday, we received additional applications and we're considering if we're going to accept more people in the program this year. Also, we have more than 70 different languages spoken in the program. These are the languages spoken this year by you and the mentors. And I was very, very pleased that for the first time, we have basic sign language and Ethiopian Sign Language, which is something that we should consider too. And this has proven to be useful. Sometimes somebody has asked you to make a translation that you can do via Google too, but here there are some languages that you may not have the human component to make the translation, and we have done it before. I was mentioning that we accept, and we are fortunate to have people from many, many disciplines. We have, for example, 8 different kinds of engineers We have astronomers, geographers, we have people in architecture, the arts, etc. Because everybody should be part of planetary health and welfare. And I won't talk about the health because that's the main area. That's where we started. But here you can see that people are interested in migration, human development, agroecology, public policy, education, sustainable agriculture, etc. There are different areas. These are not the disciplines because sometimes we have a dentist that ends up working in international development. Or we have scientists, and one of the mentors here is a scientist, but then he's work on policy and organization, and he will tell you who he is at some point. I'm looking at him. As far as the goals, the majority of you, of course, you can have several goals the same year, came to the program because you want to find your pathways and opportunities to follow and to reach your goals. The second one is people want to find a specific job in the area in which you want to work, or in the country, or in the region where you want to work. People want also to become more knowledgeable in a technical subject. I want to tell you that your mentor may not have the same expertise in the area in which you are working. Maybe from a different discipline. You can have an economist and you can be, I don't know, a policymaker or whatever, a student of basic sciences. It doesn't matter because your mentor can help you organize your thoughts and can be very helpful in helping you conduct and focus in the area in which you are working. I myself, I'm a physician, and I have worked with people who work on political science and gender issues. And this was her opportunity to teach me. And I learned a lot from her, but she also learned from me. And I want you to consider that because that's an important possibility. And of course, people want to continue their academic education. And here I found something very interesting. People from universities, many of them have a tutor, but they still come to us because they need help with the thesis, because their tutors don't have enough time or for some other reason, or write a paper with their mentor. In the application, you will have noticed that we ask questions that you didn't expect or you may not have expected. We are interested in your background, your academic background, and your professional background, but we are really interested in you as a person, as a well-rounded human being. That for me is even more important than what you did in school. You have to do well in school or in your job. But we cannot compare, for example, Harvard with my own university in Mexico. But if you are very good in your university, in your country, you are the best. You are the best. And that's what we want in the program. Now, regarding values, this is very interesting because in all the classes, honesty is number one. As far as what people believe is what we should have. And dishonesty, the other side of the coin, is what people don't like. And of course, these are not in order of priority, but you can feel or you can see a balance. The other point that I want to make is that people always find more qualities than defects. What does that tell us? That people are optimistic and they believe in the goodness of human nature. We're not bad people in general. The other point is we want to know how you make a decision. And that's why we give you the case of the heart transplant, in which you have to decide not only who shall live, but the three people who are going to die because they won't receive a heart. And every year, most people choose the scientist who is on the verge of discovering a cure for Alzheimer's disease. And then you see that the other ones are very similar. Well, in this case, the numbers are very small, but we have done that with more than 100 of our mentees. And look at here. When we say a very beautiful 6-year-old girl, I want you to think, what if we have written a very ugly 6-year-old girl? Would they have changed their decision? I mean, we have to think about all those issues. These are very clear, very clear. If you don't make a decision, you get 0. Because it's very clear here that you are the one making the decision, and please don't tell us, oh, we need to see if the tissue matches and whatever, the ethical committee. This is the situation, and you have to make the decision. The other one has to do with the unfairness or fairness of gender in the workplace. And that's the case of Anita and Muro. Anita gets much less than Muro for exactly the same kind of job, excellent, and she's been working the same number of years. Now, she goes to the factory owner, and this is a country where there are absolutely no labor regulations or anybody who cares about that. And what is the type of discussion that she has with the owner, and who wins the argument? And of course, 2/3 say, well, the owner, because he has the power. And some people say, well, there's a way in which they can reach a compromise. And other people say, no, Anita, and many of these ideas, some of them are original and creative, but out of reality. Because they say, oh, Anita can go and organize and go to the labor department. Well, what if there's no labor department in that country, or organize strike? Well, maybe she can do that. But what we are testing here is your ability to think about 2 different kinds of arguments in a context which is very particular to a country. But the last one of the questions that we ask you is to think about an issue that you feel very passionate about. You are for abortion or against abortion, for example. Well, give me your arguments. What are you for or against? And once you list your arguments, okay, now you're going to defend the opposite side of that argument as strongly as you can, and see what happened. The majority, of course, did not change their perspective. You don't need to change your values or your principles. But what we want is to see if you are able to tolerate, to accept a different perspective from your own. And you saw that yes, 28% said yes. Oh, I'm sorry. 28% said yes. And some are doubting if they will accept the opposite argument. This is important politically, in religion, in everything, all the ethical dilemmas, not because you have to compromise, or because you need to understand. You need to understand where other people are coming from. Okay, here I'm going to stop and ask you a question. You all received the mentorship guide, and these are the areas which we discussed very briefly. It's a few pages only. Types of mentoring, modalities of mentoring, our approach, and then some other issues that you may have questions about. And what I would like to propose is you can either ask some questions, or, and this is my preference, if you agree, is to show you one slide for a few of these and ask our colleagues and our former mentees maybe to elaborate or to tell you what they do in practice, so that you can see what the possibilities of our program are for you, what opportunities they bring you, the flexibility of whatever you need. The program is for you. It's not for your mentor or for anybody else. It's for you. Okay. So if you are going to make a comment, please again state your name, where you're from, and what you are. And this is what your mentors do. Transfer knowledge, and you can go in any order. But I'm just going to point something really important. Because they share their experience, not only their professional experience, but their life experience. You feel depressed? You feel that the world is ending? I have felt that way many times in my life. And the fact that I can tell you what happened with me and to me, and how did I overcome that, may be helpful to you. People say you don't learn from somebody else's experience, but you do. And there are two things that I want to point out here. Enhance self-confidence. Of our young women in the program, you have no idea how good you are. But for some reason, we men are perhaps more arrogant or whatever. There are few men who tell you that the program enhances their self-confidence. And many of the young women say, I felt and I feel after the program that now I can do everything I want or everything I need to do. And this is really, really something that is part of the program. The word wisdom, people are afraid of that. But you are wise and we are wise. And what is that? Intelligence, common sense, good judgment, capacity to know what is important in life. And you become wiser as you live. But we all have wisdom. And all the rest of them is what your mentor will help you. So please take advantage of that. Your mentor is not going to teach you epidemiology unless she or he is an epidemiologist and wants to teach you that, and that's what you need. And then I'm going to go to this one, which are the types of mentorship that you can have. The first one is almost like teaching. The mentor is the one who directs that. And the second and third one are more an organic type of mentorship. So I'm going to ask my friend Olaf Kelm to tell us about what he does when he's mentoring somebody.
Okay. Good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. So I'm Olaf. It's my 6th year now in the 2000. Yeah, so quite an old frequent flyer, let's say. I enjoyed every session of it. Well, first of all, I'm a scientist by training, but I made a long U-turn in a way in my career. So I'm now actually an operations manager, COO in a structure in France which funds research in the world, frontier research, but it's of course linked to health research. And what I like to do is exactly what Fernando just said, is basically taking the mentee with me through some of my life experiences and applying those to the situations that he or she might have experienced or is experiencing. Actually, every journey that we had was particular. There were COVID journeys, there were change of jobs journeys, there were paper journeys, and a lot of little and big things that we all have at different moments in life, with colleagues, with working, collaborating, making impact, colleagues, friends, bosses, whatever. There are all sorts of constellations in our life. And again, I like to have a certain structure where we address those questions in each of the sessions. So it's a little bit prescriptive, but mostly developmental, I would say. And the journey means also a journey together. So I always learn something. I think it gets better every time. At least I think so. And I'm learning a lot myself. So I think that's for me the most important, and that's why I like to continue as well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Olaf. Let me tell you, mentees of this year, Olaf, Mariela, Mahdi, and I don't know who else is here of the mentors, but they are the most sought after mentors in the program. So please don't be disappointed if you cannot get one of them. We ask you to choose 3, but they can only accept 1 or 2 mentees. And this is something for you to consider, that you may not get your number 1 choice, but they are all willing to take anybody from any region, from any discipline. Mariela has specialized in nutrition, and everybody loves to work with her. Olaf, as he mentioned, everything. Mahdi Abdel Wahab, he's going to also tell you about his experience. He's with the Royal Tropical Institute in Amsterdam, and he has his own mentorship program there. So I will ask Mariela if you want to say a few words about your experience.
Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, Annalie. It's a pleasure to meet you all. My name is Mariela, and I'm from Honduras, and I'm currently based as well in my home country right now. I have a nutrition background, and I currently work for a local university here in the capital city. So I started contributing with multi-pod mentoring in 2018 as well. So it's been around 6 years for now, and it has been a great experience. I think overall, I've been lucky to meet incredible mentees, during this 6 years. Some of them have been based in Sweden, and I also studied in Sweden, so it kind of gave us a link there, and we were able to I guess somehow be like an instrumental support, especially because they were graduating from their masters in public health, and they were looking for jobs and new ventures. My last mentee, he was from Slovenia, a medical doctor, and in the case of Elias, it was a bit different because he was interested in nutrition. So we decided that we would read an article, a scientific article, and meet every 2 weeks and then discuss. And basically, it was an experience in which we were both able to learn. So it was great as well. And he was a continuing mentor. He was actually in multipod for around almost 2 years. And he finished this past year. So I would say most of the experiences have been organic, and I would say suited to the mentee. And we have worked both to be able to meet the objectives, and at the end, what were their needs, and support them in the process. So I hope that you have an excellent experience, and I'm glad that you're part of Multipod. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariela. Listen, this is important. Sometimes with our mentees, I watch a TED talk or a YouTube presentation, or the mentee brings an article that she sends me previously and that we can discuss. So it doesn't matter what you do. The important part is your interaction with somebody who has more experience than you and can discuss with you your ideas, talk about your future, talk about the possibilities, talk about opportunities, and help you in that process. So you can use any one of these models, and you can discuss this with your mentor at one of the sessions or from the beginning. I'm going to show another one, and I will ask Mahdi perhaps to say a few words. We have different modalities of mentoring. Could be one-on-one, or could be collective mentoring, and could be sequential mentoring. I sometimes refer one of my mentees to somebody who is an expert, let's say in tuberculosis or HIV, and they need something very specific, so they can go to somebody else for 1 or 2 sessions and then return to me. And sometimes we can meet together with a mentee. So, Marty, thank you for being here. You should be in bed by now, but it's okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, that's the only time I do it. The other time was during the iftar time. I'm in Egypt right now. I'm originally from Egypt. I live in the Netherlands, and yeah, I passed through different disciplines. I have been a physician. I don't call myself so anymore, but I crossed to management and quality assurance, and also international public health, and then now health economics and policy. I work as a health system consultant at Introductory Institute in Amsterdam, and as Fernando mentioned, I actually joined the program as a mentee. Fernando was my mentor, and then I joined as a mentor and joined also the steering committee, and was happy to be also part of some of the initiatives that came up from the program as the Coalition for Global Health Innovation and so on, which was a great opportunity to know very interesting people and work together and form a network. And for me, such mentorship program, the most important part is the networking part. Just a few weeks ago, I've been in contact with Fernando. We were looking for partners and experts in Bolivia and Nicaragua, some countries that we never worked with before. And he was able to connect us with some of the mentors and mentees and in such countries, which was a great, collaboration. Hopefully it would be fruitful. So yeah, that's about me and about my interest in the program. I find mentorship it was very important step in starting my career also in a different country and so on. And that's why I'm very interested into it. I have worked in developing 2 different mentorship programs. So one for KIT alumni. So we have a specialized, a specific program for the alumni at KIT, and another one for health, for the research and epidemiology fairness. And that's still in progress and development. And I'm always in support of such initiatives. So yeah, thanks for having me also.
Thank you, Mahdi. And Mahdi is doing something very, very interesting. He's also enhancing the capacity for research. I mean, at all levels. I mean, we are not talking, he's from an academic and research institution. But in many countries, there are some issues, still some issues about, for example, ethical committees as part of research projects. That happened to me when I started my career in Latin America. We had to start some ethical committees to conduct clinical trials, because sometimes people say, oh, no, don't worry about that, don't worry. They need an informed consent? Yeah, they can write here. So it's really important to find out where you want to go and what you are going to offer your mentees and your group, and what you are going to learn together. If at any point somebody else wants to ask a question, or we can do it at the end. Let's see what happened. Okay, I will delve into this. Is a curriculum for growth, personal growth, basically know thyself. Professional development has to do with your resume, with how to interview, etc., etc. And your technical and scientific knowledge will depend on what you're interested in. But all of these areas, one or more of these areas, should be part of your mentorship. And something that we develop, is 9 questions about your future. And these are based on our POD, P of pathways, O the opportunities, and D of decisions. We believe that in order to find your pathway, You need to find out or to know who you are. And you need to know what you are. And most importantly, in the course of your life, you have to define your ikigai. I will talk about that. And as far as opportunities, the first thing is to find out what is what you want. And then how do you find and get what you want? And the third one is decisions. Once you have opportunities, how do you choose? When? And when do you know this is it? And I have given the example in the 3 previous webinars, and Anaili has heard me many times say this. It took me 32 years to realize my dream to join the Pan American Health Organization, because at 8 years old, and that was what I decided, because my mother told me, this is going to be your mission and your profession. And when I got there from the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta, wow, I felt so overwhelmed. And I was so unhappy. I know it took me 2 years to love it. And then that was my passion. For the next 30 years, that's what I did and enjoy it very much. So this is something that you need to work, and your ikigai may change during your lifetime. I also give the example, my mission was given to me at age 8. Then came my profession, which was becoming a doctor. And at 28, I had already my specialty in medicine, infectious diseases. But then I went into public health and international public health, and that became my passion. And at age 70, 10 years ago, I discovered that my true vocation had been to be a mentor. And I didn't know that I was a mentor until maybe 30 years ago, when somebody told me, oh, Dr. Zacharias, you were my mentor. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay? So it may take you a long time, or you may do it and it may change. And this is the intersection between your mission, your vocation, your passion, and your profession. And I don't know if you have any questions about this. We can continue. There are 2 more, I think. This is the way you can, I conduct a session. Don't worry about that. You can do it any way you want. But I would like to emphasize 2 things that are important. Please have 10 or more sessions with your mentor. You enhance your possibilities, your chances, your probabilities of being successful. If you are successful, your mentor is successful, and the program is successful. Please help yourself and help us. Remember that you don't live your life only for you. Okay? What you are doing, you are investing in yourself to be able to give. So take advantage of your mentorship. And the first assessment, which is in May, we just want to know if everything is going okay. And also if there's good chemistry. We're all adults, there's no problem. If something doesn't work technically or interpersonally, please let us know, let the program coordinator know. And only one time we had to make adjustments. Everybody can really work. Where we have problems is when somebody abandons the program without telling the mentor or the mentee. And it's important for you to keep a good communication with your mentor or your mentee. And the final thing is, what is your prognosis of the mentorship? Do you think this is going to be successful? And everyone says yes, because that's the purpose. And the final evaluation in December, before we consider only almost achieved and achieved. But actually, this is a process. So what we want to see is if you advance in your goals. Maybe you had only 3 sessions because you had already sent your thesis and your thesis was accepted. But let me give you one example. Finding pathways. You achieve that when you know what you are going to do in the future. Maybe 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or when you are 80 years old and you look back. Almost achieved when you know, what am I going to do now? What is my next step? In progress, you are trying to define or answer your own ikigai. We don't take into account initiated, because we want you to be in progress, almost achieved, or achieve. Desired job, you get a job offer. Enter a higher education program, you are accepted. You are writing something, the document is accepted. And you have the in-between, and in all of them, you can be successful. And some people reach only here, and then they say, no, I need to continue for another year. And I will not find out if I got accepted until April of the following year. So sometimes they continue because of that, or for other reason, or they return because now they are looking for something else. I found my pathway, but now I want to enter a higher education program. And here's an idea: career pathway, desired job, advanced studies, and these are only almost achieved and achieved. And the number of sessions, it was 6 and less, or 7 and more. And you can see it's a difference. At the beginning of the program, we asked for 14 sessions, then we went to 10, then we went to 7, and then we went back. We are going back to 10. Because we found out that if we asked for 7, people only got 5 sessions or 4 sessions. And we didn't want that. And there's also a threshold and a limit. 10 is the threshold where you can really go up in your achievements. And after 15, you go down, and then you go up again after 20, because that means that you have a good relationship, good collaboration with your mentor. And these are for pathways. These are the difference between 7 or more, or 6 or less. So my point here is that please try to have at least 10 sessions with your mentor. And again, I don't need to show you. I want to end up this part and open that again. This is not a one-way street. We as mentors receive from you big gifts. Just imagine if somebody validates your career and your life, tells you that you were useful, that your life and your career were worth your time, that you did something good, and they validate that. Wow. What else? I mean, it's wonderful. You are useful. Many times I say I prefer to be useful than to be happy, because happy could be 1 minute you're happy, or 1 day, etc. Useful, you can always be useful. Try to be useful all the time, and maybe you will be happy if you are useful. Help and collaboration. And Aili helps me a lot. She's my brain and my hands. And respect and admiration. I'm not afraid of words. Everybody wants to be admired, even if they don't tell you that. And everybody needs and wants to be respected. Stimulus and new ideas. Memory retrieval. Again, if you are an octogenarian, you need some help with your memory retrieval and fresh knowledge. Inspiration and enthusiasm. Every time, and I tell my mentees, every time I meet with them, my wife tells me, what happened to you? Did you take your vitamins? No, I met with Anaili, or I met with Bessa, or I met with somebody. Trust and confidence. And most importantly, hope. Hope for the future. And faith in the future. Because you know you are going to be in charge. You are actually in charge of what is going to happen to our planet in the 21st century. And you are ready. You have to be ready. Okay, so I stop here, stop sharing, and open the floor again. And I would ask my good friend Pratik to tell us something about what he thinks, why he joined the program, and what does he expect. And if he knew about the program, and he's going to tell you how he learned about the program.
Yeah. So hello everyone. I'm Dr. Pratik Kizu, and I'm a veterinarian by background, and I'm currently studying a master's in infectious disease and One Health as an Erasmus scholar in University Autónoma de Barcelona here in Spain. And yeah, talking about this mentorship program, I came to learn about this program through one of my friend, who is Dr. Bhima Thapa, and she told me about this program. And luckily, I also met her mentor, who was working in OIE, Dr. Ronald, and we met physically in a program here in Paris, in France, like which was organized by my college, University of Duke. And luckily, we met and we had a very fruitful discussion. And he was a very nice person, and we talked about, like, the connection was so real and organic that I became interested in mentorship program through that small talk. And I also was and I applied to it, and luckily I got selected as well, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And is so my goal here, like, uh I want something to do for the humankind as well as animal. So as being a veterinarian, I want to work in a wildlife disease sector and disease which are transmitted in both wildlife setting and human setting. So yeah, for now, this was only here. Maybe I'll continue later. Thank you.
Wonderful. He's one of, I don't know, we have had about 6 or 7 people who have been working with other animals, not only with humans, with other animals. And we are very lucky because we have a different perspective, One Health. And where are you from, Patrick? You are from Nepal or
Sorry,
where?
I'm from Nepal. Sorry, yeah.
From Nepal. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? I'm going to ask Sarah to tell us something about herself.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Sarah. I'm from France. I was born in Toulouse, which is a pretty big city in the southwest of France, and now I'm in Lyon, in the southeast of France. I'm a physician, a general practitioner, and I'm currently doing a master in global health. So I heard about this program in LinkedIn, and I was very interested in joining a mentorship program because I'm asking myself a lot of questions about what to do with my future, with my career, how to advance, how to be useful, and so on. So I'm really hoping that this program will help me with that.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Sarah. If you don't get, oh, we cannot hear you. Your microphone.
Yeah, you're on mute, but we can hear your voice.
Okay, something is going on with my.
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Ibironke. I'm from Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria, but I moved to the US last year, August, for a master's in public health with a concentration in epidemiology. I'm a physician, a general practitioner for about 7 years now. Then I just made the decision to leave clinical practice and explore public health. So I heard about this program from a friend of mine through a school, and I knew that, like, really needed to get a mentorship because I'm just testing the waters in another aspect of life. And like Sarah said, I'm asking myself a lot of questions. What do I want to do? How do I navigate the US? How do I go about with this degree and all of that? So it was like the perfect thing I needed at that point, and I'm just grateful for this program. Thank you for accepting me.
Thank you, thank you. We have Kalaya and then we have Besa. I would like to have Kalaya to say a few words about beautiful Puebla and what she's doing.
Sorry, my computer ran out of battery and I think I lost a little bit about the explanation of what to say.
Mm-hmm. You just tell us your name, where you were born, where you are, and what you are, and that's it. And any comments about how you joined the program and what you expect.
Well, nice to meet you, everyone. I'm Kalaya. I was born in Mexico City. I live in Puebla. I heard about this program from a teacher of mine. He was an ambassador in Africa, Jorge Alvarez. And well, I'm about to graduate this semester, and it's kind of a big step for me. So he suggested that this could be a great platform to, well, get some mentoring and get some guidance and some support of what to do next, where to go next. And here I am. I applied, and well, I'm just expecting to learn a lot and to like have a little bit more clarity, I guess. Yeah.
You're in international development, no? That's the area that you want to.
Oh no, I am in international relations.
Relations, okay.
Yeah,
Excellent.
international
Well,
relations.
you are going to have lots of international relations in the program. So
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad.
Okay, Besa from Ethiopia, please tell us your story.
So hi everyone. My name is Bizawi. So I used to be a medical doctor. I'm from Ethiopia. Now I'm doing my master's in public health and epidemiology and disease control at George Washington University. So I was a mentee almost, I think, 3 years ago. I was Gustavo's Martinez's mentee. He really helped. He was a great mentor. We were able to publish a paper together, and then I still kept in touch with Fernando. He helped me through through my shift to MPH, applying and everything, and we were able to meet in person in DC, which was amazing. Mentees who are joining the mentorship, I just wanted to say welcome. You're in good hands. Just make the best of it. Try to form a good relationship with your mentor, and yeah, just make the best of it. This is really an amazing opportunity. It really helped me in my career so far. So I wish you all good luck.
Thank you, Besa. I want to tell you something about Besa. She's, as all of you, very intelligent. And I'm not, I'm not just telling you that. I know how intelligent you are. But when you have intelligence and you know how to apply it, we're in business, my friends. And Besa was accepted at Johns Hopkins and George Washington University. And then we have another very smart lady, Anna Ely, our program officer. She's just got accepted to several universities because we ask our mentees, if you're going to invest in your future, don't go for the easy ones. Go for the hard ones. And they get it most of the time. Most of the time, because you are good. Because you are good. And you just need some kind of guidance as to how to do it. And if your mentor has been in that process, we have all applied to universities and to jobs, and I have been in some admission committees in some universities and institutes, so we know what people are looking for. And you, my friends, you have what it takes. You just want to be able to show it, to uncover and discover what you have. People need and want your talent. And I'm not telling you this just because it's the introduction. It's because I believed. I really believe. And again, because you are here because you have an obligation. And we are investing, and you are investing in yourself. Okay, I would like to know if there's somebody else who would like to make a comment or a question, or everything was clear? Okay, by the way, for our young people, when you are making a presentation, if it's a technical issue, you tell people what you are going to talk about. Then you talk about it, and then you tell them what you talk about, so that 2 or 3 ideas get to your audience. If you are at a meeting, always tell them what are the objectives of the meeting and what are the expected results. And at the end, if the results were met, you know you had a successful meeting. So are you clear about the program? Raise your hands. You better raise your hands.
Oh, clear.
Clear. Okay. And then I want to thank you very much. And I'm sorry. I just wanted to show you the calendar. Where is my... Okay, this is all I want to show you. On the 14th is the deadline to let us know who your prospective mentors, your 3 mentors, could be, and we'll try to match you to one of them. Don't spend too much time trying to decide and trying to find somebody who matches exactly what you are, what you want, because all of them are very good. I can tell you that. And then after that, during the following week, we will tell you who your mentor is going to be. And then you will be responsible for contacting your mentor and making the first appointment. And I will advise you, once you have your first meeting, every time you have a meeting, try to at least tentatively have a date for the next meeting, because otherwise you keep going back and forth, and many times you cannot find a date. So please try to do that. On the 18th and the 16th, almost every month, we are going to have a webinar. Some of them are going to be technical. Some of them are going to be oriented towards your professional career, how to write a resume, etc. We don't know yet the program this year because we are trying to design it according to what we see as the needs of the group. And then by the 3rd of May, we will have the first evaluation. By that time, we will expect you to have 1 or 2 sessions with your mentor. And I have all received the first module.
Yes.
The introductory module.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll ask you also to fill that module and to take that to your meeting with your mentor or send that to your mentor, because that will be like a guide of some of the issues you want to discuss with them. Okay. Well, and my final one, here we are, to build a more fair, safer, and healthier planet. That's why we are here. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. And
We
I'm sorry.
haven't taken the picture, the screenshot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me always see what I told you. And Aidi has to remind me. Pratik, where are you? Okay. Are all of us are here?
Yes, Dr. Matt
Oh yeah.
said that he needed
Well,
to
I
go
already know him. Yeah.
to sleep. Okay. So please smile. Just give me like 3 seconds for the screenshot.
She
To be
always
taken.
tells us to smile. I tell everybody to be serious. But
Well, you can be sad. You can just. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Thank you, everyone. Beautiful.
everybody, thank you for being here, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Okay, well,
Thank you all.
Bye bye now.
Thank you.
Bye, Mariela. Bye, my friend.
thank you.